Okay, so the best show on TV just got that much better. John Diggle's Green Lantern is coming to the party. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to WeSibs, West Coast, East Coast Siblings, where we break down your favorite movies and TV shows. It's Tuesday night, and you know what that means. We got Superman and Lois. The Flash came on tonight, and we're also doing Loki at 3 a.m. So you know how it is. So hit the subscribe button and click the bell so you don't miss. And let's dive right into Superman and Lois, episode 11. This is going to be a review, reactions, biggest takeaways. This was a huge episode. So let's jump into it. And let me just start off by saying I was pleasantly surprised by this episode, mainly because from the looks of the trailer and the preview that we got last week, I was expecting it to be kind of a filler episode. You know, they spent a lot of money on each of these episodes. And last week, it felt like a season finale type with the action and stuff like that. So I was expecting them to take much more of an easy approach. And they did for the first half of the episode, but it was like cranked up to 11 for the last part. So let's talk about it. Basically, in this episode, we deal with a little bit more of an origin story, finding out how Clark gets his suit, etc., how he becomes Superman, how he and Lois meet, how he gets his job at the Daily Planet, and how they eventually get married and have their 2 kids. Now, I gotta keep it real. I was starting to get a little bored. I mean, how many times have we seen the Superman origin story? But something about this show, it's just able to tell even the stories we've heard a million times before in a unique and refreshing way. I love Tyler's version of Superman, and even Clark Kent. We got to see a lot of him, kind of the bumbling, fumbling around news reporter, and I think he actually did a good job. It was believable. Sometimes, you know, with Superman like Henry Cavill, you can't really believe the nerdy part of him because he's just so suave. He's just cool a lot of the time, is where people like Christopher Reeve, even Brendan Routh, and here Tyler Hoechlin, he did a really good job of portraying that kind of nerdiness that Clark has. So while all this is happening, this is cool and all, but I'm thinking, okay, what's the excuse? Like, what is the reason for all of this happening? Why are we going back? Why is this a flashback? Turns out that Clark, like we saw him passed out in the end of the last episode, he's just thinking back and doing all these things, and then all of a sudden Tal-Rho, aka Morgan Edge, starts to show up in these visions at the hospital when he's having the kids, saying, look, you know, of course I wouldn't kill the babies, but now 2 teenage boys is an entirely different idea, showing the threat that Morgan still, he represents to Jordan and Jonathan. And Lois too, Superman's entire family, because Tal now feels that he's been betrayed. He says in the episode, you know, I approached you as a brother, I approached you as a friend, I approached you as a fellow Kryptonian, and you rejected me, you lied to me, you stole from me, etc. So now I'm coming to you as a threat. And like I said, it wasn't too well thought out that he would spend all his solar energy trying to destroy that energy cube, whatever that thing was, in order to destroy all the other Kryptonians and zap them of their powers. Because as soon as he saw Morgan Edge, you know, hold back and not give all his solar energy, he should have known that the biggest threat to the world would have been Morgan Edge at that point. So Superman losing his powers leaves the entire world vulnerable to Tal and his attacks. But although depowered, Superman is not alone. We'll get to that a little bit later. But let's wrap up some of the other smaller stuff that happened in the episode. Like I said, it was wrapping up the storyline from the last episode with the Kryptonians being implanted into these innocent Smallvillian minds. Also some things with Jordan and Sarah happened. They're finally an item now. So we kind of been waiting for that to happen for a couple of episodes. The writing was on the wall and it finally happened in this episode. But Morgan is outed as a villain now. The whole world knows his whole shtick. They know what he's trying to do. Rebirth Krypton, a la General Zod, like we saw in Man of Steel. Lois and Kyle end up making amends. You know, Kyle apologizes for the way that he's treated Lois and pretty much the entire Kent family since they first got there after the death of Martha. But he might want to hold off on that apology, as the end of the episode sees Clark pledging his allegiance to Morgan Edge, aka Tal, and then going to Tal's Fortress of Solitude, which was in the desert, which he made a great point. I mean, there's a ton of sunlight in the desert. But I don't know, maybe the white snow is more reflective of sunlight, giving Superman more, I don't know, I'm trying to make an excuse for him right now. Also, at this point, they tie up some things about Tal's origin story that we didn't know. For instance, like when he gets to his Fortress of Solitude, his dad, Zeta-Rho, teaches him and trains him how to be an ultimate Kryptonian warrior, putting him through this battery of tests and this super beam of like painful, looked like red, possibly red sun energy, showing him how pain could be used and increasing his tolerance for pain. So Tal has been trained much like a General Zod to be able to fight and adapt to any situation and tolerate the harshest of circumstances. And Superman at this point has pledged his allegiance to Tal, and obviously, you know, he's probably going to end up going back on his word, but it's like, that's part of Superman's character. He never lies, you know. So, and he did give a pledge. Now, this was in order to save his family, of course, but still, his word is his word. Now, Tal tells the Kent family before taking Superman that take a good look at him because this is the last time you're going to see him this way. And then we see in the Fortress of Tal's solitude, Superman just getting blasted with that red solar energy the same way that Tal did when he was a kid, and this will be transforming Superman into evil Superman. And then moving on to there, we get that preview where we're seeing Black Suit Superman just as was foretold in the John Henry vision, the John Henry prediction from his world. And the episode ends with Lois calling John Henry saying it's happening exactly like you said it was going to happen. Superman has gone to the dark side. Now, what's interesting is that in the preview, we also see John Diggle. It's like all the black guys in the show are called John. Probably a coincidence. But so John Diggle, aka the Green Lantern, as we saw at the end of Arrow, him opening that box and seeing the green glowing lantern ring. We haven't seen much since then at all from his character. He was Arrow's sidekick in the Arrow TV show, but at the end of that show, he opened up a box and saw the Green Lantern ring. So I don't want to get my hopes up too big, but I've got huge Green Lantern hopes for next episode. And I think that comes July 13th, it said new episode. So I think they're taking a week off. That's a bummer, but it probably took them a little bit more time to finish up the special effects and do some extra things with this episode. And honestly, I'm totally okay with it. This show has been phenomenal. Best show on television right now, in my opinion, certainly in the superhero realms. Have you all seen The Flash? Oh boy, it's hard to talk about, but Superman makes it all worth it because this show is just firing on all cylinders. The acting, the storyline, the special effects, the costumes, you name it, Superman and Lois has got it. So guys, that's what happened in episode 11 of Superman and Lois, and I can't wait to hear you guys' thoughts on John Diggle's Green Lantern making a return and really a debut in the Superman and Lois TV show. Now, I know there was some drama happening about Melissa Benoist and her Supergirl character, her not being mentioned in this show, and we'll just have to wait and see what they end up doing with that. It's a little weird of a situation, but hopefully she's integrated. She's certainly the next person that you would call being one of the most powerful people on the planet, probably only second to Superman. So that's pretty weird. We'll have to wait and see with the CW and what they've kind of written out for that. Supergirl's returning soon as well, so we'll have to keep an eye out for what they do there. But yeah, guys, time to chat it up in the comments. Don't forget, Loki episode 3 is coming out tonight at 3 a.m. So if you want to join that squad, burning the midnight oil with me, be sure to hit that bell so you get a notification when I drop that episode. I may go live after the episode. Who knows? We'll have fun with it. Click the like if you like the video. And guys, subscribe so we can continue growing this awesome community. I love the engagement. I love the kind of conversations that we get into around our favorite movies and TV shows. Click over here for the Titans 3 trailer as well as the Sasha Cal Supergirl suit. And click over here for more Loki. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. I'm Chris Grant Jr. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.